Welcome to this episode of Dread Captures, the ultimate destination for those who seek the thrill of witnessing the unexplained. Our channel is dedicated to bringing you the most compelling and jaw-dropping footage of wild animals, cryptids, mysteries, and paranormal activity from all over the world. Trail cameras, security cameras, and other recording devices can capture all that happens when no one is around. From mysterious creatures lurking in the shadows, to strange phenomena that defy explanation, we have it all. Our team of experts scours the internet and beyond to bring you the latest and greatest in the world of wildlife and the unknown. So whether you're a seasoned cryptozoologist or just a curious wildlife viewer, buckle up and get ready for an adventure like no other. Let's get into the captures. This next clip shows amazing footage of a cougar attacking a deer on a trail camera. It's amazing how stealthy they can be. You see the deer jumped and tried to break free, but that's not going to happen. The homeowner reported that the cougar came for 3 days and ate off the kill. On the 4th day, however, 2 bears showed up and dragged what was left away. Great footage to catch on a trail camera. In this clip, we see a lynx that has been brought to the area by the smell of frozen remains of a northern deer. He sniffs around and eventually locates them under a nearby tree. The only problem with this is that this kill seems to have already been spoken for. Resting in an adjacent tree it looks like a bobcat. They're distant cousins, but even a good-sized bobcat is dwarfed by the size of this lynx. I've said this before, but except for mountain lions, people living in the United States, we don't face the threat of being attacked by these enormous, frightening, large cats, such as lions and tigers. The potential man-eaters, so to speak. Of course, mountain lions can do that, but there have been cases of people surviving and even killing mountain lions during attacks. But I digress. This next clip doesn't feature any people, but we do get to see a Bengal tiger in action. These wild GAURs that roam the countryside are the perfect home run takedown to provide a lot of meat for this tiger to eat. And very quickly in the video we see something strange. The male GAUR flips the female GAUR over and off her feet with his powerful horns, all but freely offering her up to the tiger. Sorta looking like he was saving himself and sacrificing her. We've seen similar behavior in another video I made when a pack of wolves were attacking a herd of buffalo. Experts will tell you that it would be highly unlikely that the male would sacrifice the female GAUR to save himself. Herd animals, and male GAURs specifically, are highly protective of their herd. In fact, GAUR bulls are known to be highly aggressive towards predators and have been observed to actively chase and attack tigers and other large carnivores to protect their herd. However, in some rare cases where a GAUR is unable to fend off a predator and is at risk of being killed, it may attempt to flee and leave behind weaker members of the herd. I don't believe what we are witnessing would be considered a deliberate sacrifice, but more rather a survival instinct. At least that makes me feel a little better about this interaction. However, I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Before this video was triggered, off camera, this owl swooped down and procured himself a nice little field mouse, and is on his way back to his nest in an adjacent tree. But all of a sudden, 2 falcons rush in, like the Secret Service, and corral him to the ground. The outnumbered owl tries to stand up for himself and puts up a fight. But I think he smartly realized he was outmatched and at a significant size disadvantage, not to mention 2-on-1. The falcons calmly wait for him to give up. Then they gather his kill, pick it up, and carry it off to enjoy. Captured in this astonishing CCTV footage, we see a peaceful street with a few cars parked on the side of the road. However, out of nowhere, things quickly take an unexpected turn. Highlighted, you can see that a fish falls out of the sky and lands straight onto one of the vehicles. The impact is so loud that it grabs the attention of one of the neighbors, and a curious woman comes over to investigate. This is pretty crazy. What could this be? I mean, it really could only be a hawk or a falcon carrying this fish, right? And then it drops it. I'd be all ears if anyone else had any other explanations. The entire scene is quite comical and leaves everyone perplexed. According to statistics provided by the Wildlife Federation, cougars end up with the upper hand in almost all confrontations against predators or prey of equal size. They either come away with the kill or they don't back down from their opponents. As you see here, the cougar and the bear are sizing each other up. The bear's much bigger, but the cougar has a strong bite and is capable of doing some damage. The bear is much bigger. It's clear that the cougar is not afraid of him. As the bear approaches the cougar cubs, the mother rushes to their aid. She immediately drives away the big-pawed predator, checking on her little ones. She was able to scare the frightened bear up a tree. In another moment of this encounter, you can see the bear standing up on its hind legs, trying to make itself look bigger. But as the cougar swats and scratches, the bear figures he might as well just cut his losses and quickly runs away. This next clip is pretty strange if I do say so myself. A bystander films the moment a young buck became wedged under a vehicle on a major highway in the city. The filmer said the deer was running full speed trying to cross the road and slid on its hooves and got stuck under this man's SUV. Luckily, he and another kind man slowly jacked the vehicle up, and the deer was able to pull itself out. The deer seemed pretty unfazed. Once he's freed, you can see him, just kind of looking around, standing around, until he eventually ran off safely. Pretty crazy thing to catch on camera. As we all know, sloths are, well, they're sluggish creatures. They typically spend their entire life high up in trees. Unfortunately, one such sloth found itself in a precarious situation when it was spotted by a hungry cougar. The big cat attempted to climb up the tree, but the trunk's slippery surface made the climb a difficult one. Even though he had tried multiple times, the hungry cougar refused to give up and actually went to sharpen its claws to improve its grip on the tree. Amazingly, the tactic worked, and he was able to reach the sloth and pull him down from the tree. In a creepy video caught on camera, a gentleman explains that around 2 a.m., he gets a notification on his phone. Apparently, his camera has picked up movement outside his house, more specifically near his pool. He thought he might have some late-night visitors trying to take a dip. He pulls up the footage on his phone and watches it a few times. thinking his eyes are playing tricks on him. He screen recorded it and zoomed in, and it appears a potential ghostly figure can be seen. The figure runs through his yard and into his neighbor's yard. Check out what he found. What do you guys think of this footage? Is it just a person running down the sidewalk or through the yards? One viewer mentioned it could be a spider spinning a web in front of the camera, causing the appearance of something bigger in the distance. Could it really be a ghost? The man explains his home has experienced some unexplainable activity as well. He mentioned that while he's at work, his indoor cameras had picked up movement every day at the same exact time in his daughter's room, even though no one was home. Could this apparition be the ghost of a child that wants to play in the pool or with his daughter's toys? Let me know what you all think. In this next clip, Squatch Watchers is on site to examine a creature that was photographed by Joe Hunt. This photograph was taken from a hunting area that Joe has hunted in for 15 years. And he just can't explain what it is. David and Taylor traveled to interview the man, and they believe the creature could be a Sasquatch, even mentioning that they have captured thermal footage of a similar creature in the same area while they were on a hunt. Although some viewers that have seen the photo claim that it might be a bear, many others are convinced that it is not. A man named Delbert is introduced. He's another hunter from the area that has hunted these parts since he was 11 years old. And all he can come up with is that this creature is a primate based on the joint in its foot. He doesn't believe that this creature could be a hoax because it would be way too dangerous to dress up as an ape in this hot weather and in an area that is well known for its hunting. The foursome definitely agrees it is not a bull elk or a bear or a rogue domestic cow. Here's the picture that Joe Hunt captured. Furthermore, Delbert reveals that he was a non-believer in Bigfoot for his entire life until he saw Joe's picture. He's convinced now. And Joe, the photographer of the creature, seems to be open-minded about the creature's identity, stating that it's up to them to decide what it is. He's not married to it being a Bigfoot, he just doesn't know what it is. The group goes on to discuss the location where Joe captured the picture, which used to be privately owned but is now part of the South Mountain State Park. Squatch Watchers knows this place very well. Their team have been to this area before and believe that it could be a hot spot for Bigfoot sightings. So what do you guys think about this creature in the photo? I'd be interested. It definitely does not look like something native to the area. I can't place it. The longer hair and of course the jointed feet that the guys mentioned are two pretty sturdy clues. As most people, I'm sure, I always like to hear from the person involved in the encounter. It allows you to get a good sense of their demeanor, their personality. Do they seem like they're hungry or starved for attention? Or genuinely interested in getting to the bottom of what the creature is, no matter what? In my opinion, I think Joe falls into the latter category. Anyhow, let me know your thoughts, and go check out this video on Squatch Watchers. The guys dive more deeply into it and give some convincing arguments. Nevertheless, an awesome trail cam capture. This is pretty creepy footage out of West Virginia. Now, before anyone tries to say this is an alien or something, I'm pretty sure it's just a spider's legs. At first, I thought it might have been whiskers of an animal, but I'm going with the spider theory. Let's watch it again and let me know what you think. These next clips are really fascinating. They've come from an awesome channel named the OCHO VERDE Wildlife Channel, and they show amazing trail camera footage from the rainforest. Which I find particularly interesting being from the United States. We don't get to see any of these animals. The anteater is probably my favorite. What a strange animal. Anyhow, let me know which one is your favorite in the comments. And check this guy's channel out, it is amazing.